I want to introduce you to a book that I recently acquired called The Natural Communities of Georgia. It's written by Leslie Edwards, Jonathan Ambrose, and Catherine Kirkman. I've been extremely impressed with this book. It's 650 pages, and I can promise you, if you enjoy Georgia's wildlife and outdoor natural resources, you will want to own this book and you'll be glad you acquired it. It is an extremely informative book. Beautiful, well done, quality photography throughout. It's funded by AGL Resources, the Georgia DNR Wildlife Resources Division, Joseph W. Jones Ecological Research Center at Itchaway, and Georgia State University. The way the book is organized and the story it tells is it goes by physiographic regions in Georgia, or ecoregions as it calls them. And you have 5 major ones in Georgia. You've got the lower coastal plain, the upper coastal plain, the Piedmont, Blue Ridge, and the Ridge and Valley. There's also some Cumberland Plateau in the upper northwest corner of Georgia. And that's, to me, what makes Georgia so interesting from a natural resources standpoint is the diversity. We have everything from maritime forest on the coast to Appalachian Mountains in the north, and from trout streams to blackwater streams. It's an incredibly diverse state, and if you've done any amount of traveling, you've seen that. And I think that makes a book like this all the more valuable and important if you travel around Georgia and enjoy the outdoors and natural resources, because there is such a change and a variation from region to region in the natural communities. And this book will help you understand those, recognize them, appreciate them, and understand the history, natural history behind those. The book goes through and in the beginning lets you know about how it's organized, the various types of communities it's going to discuss, looks at an overview of the state from a natural resources standpoint, presents a good many statistics. And I'll stop here and say that throughout the book, just fantastic illustrations and charts and maps that really enhance the value and educational aspect of the book. Of course, one of the main challenges we have in the state is the growing human population, which is really going to make it challenging to preserve our natural resources going forward. Wildlife, water, the landscape. We have urban growth, invasive species, from feral hogs to kudzu, other plants and animals that are problematic. Changes in how the land is managed, the absence of fire in many communities where it really is needed. So just a good overview of the challenges and values and resources we have in Georgia from a natural resources standpoint. And then after the introduction, we get into a discussion of the various ecoregions, starting with the Blue Ridge. So here we go into the Blue Ridge ecoregion. And the book is laid out this way. Each ecoregion treated separately, and it tells you about the geology, topography, and soils of each region. Each one is broken down into subregions, and it explains those types, how they differ from each other, what types of plants and animals you'll find there, the geology and soil ecology of those areas, human factors. And throughout, the authors pull out various plants, animals that are unique to these areas or particularly important or endangered in these areas. Animals and plants you want to look for when you visit. Lets you know what you can expect to see when you visit those areas. Tons of sidebars and pull out information. Here's a list of important plants and animals you would see in the Blue Ridge when visiting or should learn to identify. Individual animals are discussed. And then probably one of the most valuable parts of the book to me is these little features that are pulled out throughout the book. And what it is as they're discussing a particular community in Georgia, they tell you a public place you could go to see that natural community. Tells you how to get there, how to get precisely. There's even Google Earth GPS coordinates here, and tells you what to look for at these sites that are examples of natural communities that are featured in the book. So we move on through the book. As you can see in the corner, you see that we're looking at the Blue Ridge right now. so you can quickly flip if you're looking for a particular region. And I could just go on and go through here for a long time showing you this book. It is obviously not exciting vacation reading. It is informative and well done and extremely thorough. It's the kind of reading, I haven't even read this entire book. It's the kind of book you will flip through when you're looking for something in particular, or simply flip through until you find something interesting you want to learn about, like the mole king snake, and read in small bites. If you're going to a particular area of the state, you might brush up on that by flipping to that region and studying it, trying to find out what type of environments, soils, rocks you would encounter there. Here's another example of Rocktown in northwest Georgia, how to get there, what you'll see. So if you're going to travel and see natural communities in Georgia, just, you really can't do without this book. It must have taken years to put together. Extremely impressive, and I just can't imagine how much time and effort went into compiling the information that is in this book. And it's a beautiful book. My children, young children, love flipping through it, looking at pictures of animals and reading, learning, and discussing from high school age on down to elementary school age. College students will value this, adults of all ages. If you love natural resources in Georgia, or you know someone who does, this book will be a great acquisition. The illustrations are excellent. Maps, charts, graphics. Here we're looking at the various subregions within the coastal plain. And again, it breaks down each of these and tells you about each one and why they're different, why they are unique. Here's a look at aquifers. And again, more information than you'll digest in a long, long time. The book is available from the University of Georgia Press for about $60. When I first picked it up, it's a 650-page book, and I thought this has got to be over $100 to get, but it's about $60 from the UGA Press. And I will provide the link in the description below for where you can go to order the book. I highly recommend it. You just can't go wrong with this book on your bookshelf. And it won't just sit there. It's not just a coffee table. You will find yourself referring to this book again and again as you travel around Georgia or just want to learn more about the state's resources. In the back, we've got reference material, index of all the plant and animal species, list of the books that were and resources that were referred to in creating it. And as you can see, just a ton of work went into this book. So the Natural Communities of Georgia gets 2 thumbs up from me, and you won't go wrong. You'll enjoy this book, and I recommend you go out and get it or buy it as a gift for a friend as soon as possible.